Hello, my beautiful ducklings. It's your friendly Guppeteer, and I'm back again with a Steven Universe vlog. And I don't know when the half-hour special is. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I couldn't find anything on the internet about it, but I swear I saw it somewhere. All right, cut me some slack. Okay, okay. Today's episode is When It Rains, and I'm not in the studio. I'm not in the studio today, because this. Oh, all this beauty right here is is actually my new studio. And what I mean by that, I'll tell you in a future update video. But as for now, it's super secret. So anyway, in this episode, Peridot is still in the bathroom, and when the gems try to talk to her, get some information out of her about the cluster, she ain't working. So the gems leave to I don't. The gems leave, and Steven is left alone to keep Peridot company and make sure she doesn't, do anything spooky. But when a thunderstorm erupts and thunder starts clapping, Peridot gets scared. She runs out and she thinks it's the cluster. As Steven explains, it's just rain, and she goes outside. And in a really very nice scene, Peridot gains the confidence and discover well I guess I can't do discovers in parentheses or in quotation marks because she does discover it. I mean, she didn't know what it was before. But she finds out what rain is like on Earth, and it's like one of those ET moments, but with rain. It's a really good scene actually. Probably the best, probably one of the probably the best scene in this episode, and this is not a negative comment. Anyway, so after Steven tells her, thunderstorms are because up there clapping, why not? And he explains the water cycle and pretty much all the stuff that would explain why it's raining outside. And Peridot perceives this as Steven is the ultimate know everything of knowledge on Earth, and she decides to share with him some super secret information about the cluster. But to do so, they have to go to the playground, not the playground, the kindergarten, to find, to go to the creepy place where the gem fusions were and keeping it together, and where they saw in Marble Madness, I'm pretty sure. And they go there. Peridot does some stuff in some really cute scenes with Steven in a headcanon way. They hold hands the entire time. Why? I guess I think Steven says it was to make sure she doesn't do anything, but Rebecca Sugar was like, I want to get last week I did really well getting trending on Tumblr for every single post about Peridot. Let's do it again this week. anyway, anyway, we're not getting on that. So anyway, my hair is messy. Um, they go there. They have some little cute scenes. Kind of hard to tell if it's they're doing like a romance or play thing. I don't know. I'll get to that in a minute. And so anyway, what? Oh yeah, Peridot explains that there's all kinds of gem fusions, forced gem fusions in the kindergarten, but Big Lebowski one is this one called the cluster, which is nothing we have seen yet. Nothing we've seen yet. Contrary to popular belief. And it is this giant, just big old mutilated giant gem thing that is currently, I think it said currently living inside of the Earth. And it's going to grow, it's going to be bigger than the Earth, and it is going to destroy the planet. But since Peridot cannot get home to, in this confuses me a little bit. Peridot's mission is to make sure that the cluster, uh, gets big. Check on the cluster, make sure everything goes well. I guess in what could be perceived as selfish. I don't know how other way it could be perceived. She doesn't want it to explode now that she's on Earth. Uh, okay, I guess I'll roll with that. I'll roll with that. But so she doesn't want it to explode now that she's on Earth. So what she and Steven have to do is they have to stop the cluster. And since Peridot knows that Steven has all superior knowledge of the Earth because he talked about rainstorms, obviously she does not watch Bill Nye, who is the superior holder of everything ever known to man. But that's that's a topic for a whole nother preacher. She thinks Steven will be the one, who knows everything about the Earth and can help her. Steven obviously doesn't know everything there is to know about everything. Well, nobody does, but he says that he learned, his information from other people. And Peridot just doesn't get it. But there's no time for that because these big old gem fusions are coming, and you better bet your bottom dollar they're gonna beat up our heroes, or Peridot and Steven. I don't know. Is Peridot a hero at this point? It's kind of hard to tell. They're making it hard to tell. Well, if she wasn't a hero before, she's definitely a hero at the end because the crystal gems come in and save Peridot and Steven from all of the ruckus, all the gem fusions. And Peridot decides that she will help the gems because it seems like they're their only hope to help stop the cluster. And she says, I know how to help you stop the cluster. I'll tell you some stuff about it. And it just ends like that. Not even a little star out or anything. It just ends like that. So overall, pretty good episode. And a lot of people got mad at me when I said episodes like Onion Friend or Cry for Help were sort of like the show Louie in the sense that they don't really have a beginning, middle, end, and what's the word? Conflict in the episode. Like, there's no problem they have to get around. And I've said before how much I love like the show Louie itself, and like the sort of things happen storyline. And this is another one of those things happen storyline. There's no real conflict per se. It introduces a conflict that will be resolved in a later episode, but this isn't a Steven and Peridot get stuck in the kindergarten and they have to spend the entire episode trying to get out. No, this is just I'd say maybe a third of the episode is in the kindergarten. The other 2/3 are mostly just in Beach City. And I really love when an episode is made like that, especially on the show. They do it really well. I think, because I know Lamar Abrams is the guy who boarded this one. I don't know if he boarded Onion Friend, but I think he boarded Cry for Help. If he did, he's pretty good at getting this thing down pat. It goes really well. Like, it's flowing. As much as I love, something happens, you got to overcome it. It's nice to just see flowing, just like a flowing day, pretty much. Like if you filmed them every day, and that's kind of what this episode is. As I said before, I really love the scene where Peridot is, learning what rain is for the first time, and everybody's gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna say it now. There's this great scene where Garnet's talking about, watching Peridot while they're gone, and then she's like, Steven, wait, and he's like, what? And she's like, I love you, and like it's super cute and everything. It is, and Steven's little reaction is the cutest thing ever, but it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. I mean, I get it. The crystal gems are like his parents, and your parents say I love you to, well, okay, your parents might say they love you to me all the time. Like it just kind of seemed like it was out of nowhere. Am I a bad person for thinking that? Probably. Yeah, I'm a bad person for thinking that. Maybe does that go deep into my psyche? I hope not. But it was just kind of out of nowhere. It was just like, I'm talking right now. I love you guys. And then I just continued talking like that. Exactly, that's what it's like. God, what's the matter with you people? But that's just minor nitpick. The fusions are back in this episode. They're still horrifying. Nothing's changed there. And of course, the big one is that this is all build up to what I will never know is going to be the half-hour special. But more importantly, this is all build up to what is going to be probably Yellow Diamond coming back to Earth, the cluster, maybe the return of Malachite, I don't know, something like that. Homeworld stuff, all kinds of stuff that's just bringing this series not together like in an end way, but like bringing it together. And I know some people have mentioned this to me through Tumblr, is that yes, Gravity Falls is ending. This is kind of off topic. Gravity Falls is ending. I'm super sad about it. I get it. But like, I'm super sad about it. I didn't cry, but I was like really sad about it. That the feel you get when your favorite show's not getting canceled, but it's just over. I can respect that. Alex Hirsch was like, all right, this is what I want the entire series story to look like. Add in some maybe 10 or 20 funny episodes, and we're good. We're golden. And yeah, it's a golden series. they have the entire thing wrapped up, and I respect that they know when it's over. They know when it's over. As much as I love Adventure Time, they're not very good at that. But I'm starting to feel. I don't know how Rebecca Sugar feels about going season after season after season, but I'm starting to feel that Steven Universe is like really getting into the niche of things per se. It's getting into like a really big event that's going to happen. This isn't like Jailbreak or something, or the big old Master Hand storyline, where the first time some stuff happened. This has been building up for a while now. This has been building up since the first Stephen bomb, and it's just building and building and building and building. So I can really expect a big resolution from this, and I'm very excited to see what it's going to be. Besides that, not a lot to say about this episode. I'm really liking the direction that they're taking Paradox's relationship with Steven. As I said before, I can't tell, like, they're not trying to do a romantic thing, I'm pretty sure, but there's some cutesy scenes that, like, since they both are this, I guess, the same height, sort of, for some people, nicks you onto thinking they're the same age, which I can understand. That's what I do. That's what I did, like, half this episode. So, like, some people might think that they're going for, like, a romantic thing, but then, Connie and Paradox literally just a rock. She's like we said before, their bodies are just an illusion with mass. There's nothing going on there, and she's thousands of years old. There's not going to be any romance, all right? I'm telling you now. I'm telling all you now. Also, Connie's better than Peridot. Ooh, take it and weep. But not a lot I can say about this episode that I haven't already said. Overall, really good episode. In terms of build up, as an episode itself, pretty good, pretty good. But I just can't wait to see where it's going next. So I will see you guys later. And leave a thumbs up or subscribe, or maybe just send me a sandwich. I'm hungry.